I think I was muted. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our virtual vision board party. It is December 29th, and we're so excited that you are here with us. We're looking forward to having a great time together tonight. I hope that you've invited your friends, your family members, your girlfriends, your buddies, your accountability partners for those of you who do any sort of coaching programs. But my name is Cynthia Brain, and I am the president and CEO of Legacy Strategic Partners and the founder and president of Legacy Builders University. And that is known for a lot of people as the home of the Financial Arc Masterclass. That's a masterclass that I have personally been teaching since January of 1999. So this is our 24th year when we're launching our financial masterclass. It's called the Financial Arc because we have been able to help so many people to prepare for economic storms. If you think about Noah's Ark, you probably know a little bit about that story where Noah was preaching for 120 years, warning people of the coming flood. And that turned out to be the Great Flood. Well, we are so grateful that we have an opportunity to be able to help people to prepare for very difficult times as we all go through them, whether there's a job loss or due to a layoff, or whether there's an illness or accident or death of a loved one, or the economy like it is right now. It's kind of tough. These are storms, and most storms in our lives have some sort of economic component, just like most of our visions and goals have some sort of financial component. And so we thought years ago that we would start to have these vision board parties. Originally, we were not having them online. They were in rooms, brick and mortar buildings. But now, since we're in an environment where we can connect with people all over the world virtually, we thought we'd open it up to be able to share with friends and family members, regardless of where they were. So for probably 5 or 6 years now, we've been doing them virtually, long before the pandemic. And it has been a fantastic experience. We typically we're on Facebook Live, but we're trying some other platforms now since technology is available. And we're just really excited about you joining us tonight. So if you are on tonight, we would love to see where you are calling in from, where you're dialing in from tonight. If you could put that in the chat, tell us where you're from. Some of you I know are here in the United States, others may be elsewhere. Again, feel free to share the link for others to come and join us so that you can engage in this very meaningful exercise with the people that you love. Families should do this together. Typically, my mom, my daughter, and I do it together. My mom has been in the hospital this week, so I'm running on fumes because I was sleeping around the clock in the hospital with her and attending to her, and she was discharged last night. She's here with us, but most of my attention has been back and forth caring for her. So I appreciate you guys understanding if in fact I'm not on my A game tonight, as I am tired, hungry, and a little worn out here. But I'm going to do my best to give you guys the very best experience I possibly can as we are preparing for an epic 2023. So again, welcome to all of you, whether you've been on here for a little bit or you're just logging in. And we just want to make sure that you know that you're at the right place at the right time for the virtual vision board party. So I just want to give you a really quick rundown of what a vision board is and what typically can and should happen when we're preparing for achieving anything big. So the virtual vision board parties, in terms of history, they were started back in 2010 by a group of friends. And back in 2015, they began to expand it to include not just their friends, but this kind of became a national phenomenon. And I want to say that we started doing vision board parties right around that time, maybe around 2015, 2016, and then 2018 or 19 in there, we took them virtual. We went to Facebook Live to do them. Well, there is an actual National Vision Board Day that takes place each year. But some fun facts about vision boards and Vision Board Day is that they help us, number one, focus on important things, which a lot of times with all the distractions in life, we need that, don't we? Don't we need a little help to kind of focus in on what's important? And then number two, it helps us to set clear goals for the current year. Number three, it opens up all of our five senses. So we're touching things, you know, we're using all of the senses, our eyes. In some cases, we may, you know, have, for me, the sense of smell. I'm really big into cooking. I love to cook. And so that's a big thing, preparing good meals for my family as often as possible. But, you know, we can really engage with this practice. I've got a vision board here, a poster board. Some of you may be working on a digital board, which we provided some instruction for. And if you're wanting to do that, that's perfectly fine. You're probably going to want to work with two different devices, if in fact that's what you're doing, because you can see us on one and then you can operate from another. So if you have a tablet or a second phone or a laptop, then you may want to just, you know, work accordingly. But it may be a little tough to create the digital board with the rest of us tonight if you just have one device. Now, number four, vision boards motivate us every day. Why? Because we should post them in a place where we're going to see them every day. So if you're working on it by yourself, you may want to post it maybe in a bedroom, on a wall. Some people post them in another area, maybe a hallway or a frequently passed type of a spot in your home, especially if you're working on this as a family. And I speak about this quite often. We should do this as a family as often as possible, because then everyone has buy-in. If we're doing these together, everyone's talking about the goals and the kinds of things that we want to accomplish as a family unit. It doesn't mean that individually we can't establish our own personal vision board, but what I would certainly recommend that, especially if you have financial goals, that you do it as a family so everyone has buy-in and everyone's working from the same playbook. Put it somewhere where everyone can see it. So the digital board isn't as successful, I think, for families as it might be for an individual. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. And the final thing that's important is having a vision makes your work easy. It's only if you have actionable steps. So that is something that we're going to talk about a little later in the event, closer to the end. We're going to talk about how do we not only have a vision board, but we actually have the action steps that go along with it. It's very important for us to have a game plan on how we can put what we envision doing into action. Because one of the criticisms that is very common of the vision board process is that, you know, a vision, you can think about dreaming, you can, you know, have all these plans, but if you don't have a way to execute it, then it falls flat. There's failure and there's disappointment and there's frustration. So we don't want any of that to be your plight tonight. We want you to have the very best experience. So let's jump on in. All right. So the first thing I wanted to mention is that I don't know how many of you are, you know, aware of Kwanzaa, but this is the period for Kwanzaa, starts the day after Christmas. And today is day 4 of Kwanzaa. I just wanted to make mention the fact that Kwanzaa is actually on the 4th day, Cooperative Economics Day. The focus on this day is cooperative economics. So Marcus, if you could put that slide up, that would be helpful so that you guys can get a better sense of what it is that we do with Kwanzaa. All right. So the cooperative economics is really, really important because so many of us may remember from history, Wilmington, North Carolina, Rosewood. Do any of these communities sound familiar? Rosewood in Florida. We also know about Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where these were very vibrant communities. And they were predominantly African American communities that were thriving because there was support. There were businesses and there was commerce, there was creativity, ingenuity, and there was a collaborative spirit where the people in the community were supportive of each other. And day 4 of Kwanzaa is just reminding us to be intentional about being supportive of the businesses in the African American community. And it also is inspirational from the standpoint of creating businesses, creating enterprise, filling in those gaps where there aren't necessarily those types of businesses in the community that are serving specific needs. And so thank you so much for spotlighting that. So that is today, again, day 4 of Kwanzaa, December 29, cooperative economics. So as you're putting together your vision board, if you could spotlight me again, as you're putting together your vision board, thank you, Marcus, we would love for you to maybe consider, if you have an area that you're focused on for your finances, perhaps consider that you would include some area of intentionality as it relates to either establishing your own business, or you don't have to say or, but and maybe consider also how you could support some of the African American businesses in our communities, because especially in economic hard times, African American businesses tend to suffer more than larger mainstream businesses. So just wanted to throw out that little reminder for Kwanzaa and hope that you're able to figure out a way that you can be intentional about cooperative economics. Okay? All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about the vision board process, and you can start assembling your board as I'm talking. I would love to, as we go along, maybe highlight some of the work that you're doing. If you wouldn't mind putting your camera on and sharing what it is that you're working on. I have some very specific types of goals that I'm working on for the new year. Few of the things that I'm working on are related to fitness. I'm wanting to do a lot more in that regard. I want to be a little healthier in my food choices. So I have some things here that I'm going to show. I'm going to put these on my vision board. I also, in addition to that, I love to garden. And so I'm working on having a year-round garden, not just spring, summer, and early autumn. I'm working on developing an all year-round garden so that we can eat from our garden every day. Every day we can literally go from the garden, harvest it, it goes right into the pan or onto the plate, depending on what it is. And so I'm excited about that. Incorporating some things into our family plans so that we can make that happen. All right. Some other things I want to do, and I'll put this on my board as we're working together. But some other things that I want to do is to get in shape a little better. I haven't done swimming actively for a very long time, and so I think I might take a swimming class or two so I can build up my skills there and get more fit, because I feel like there's some room for improvement. We started last year picking up cycling. And so this is one of the things that I'm going to be working on with my family. This is something we could all do. Swimming is something we can all do together. My husband, the kids, they're actually better swimmers than I am at this point. The kids have gotten to be pretty good swimmers. So mommy's got to catch up. Thus the need for classes. I used to swim a lot as a kid, but haven't done that in a long, long time. Another thing that I am wanting to do more is intentional time in Bible study, prayer, devotion, wanting to increase that. Again, the year of intention. The last 3 years have been, my word of the year has been intentionality. I can't seem to find a better word. So I think this may be the 4th year that would be my word, intentionality, because it just says everything about where I'm coming from. I need to be intentional about what I need to do. The last few years have been a real interesting for us as a family because we having kids in the house, raising them. and multiple businesses, family businesses that we own. It's really been kind of a hectic, crazy time. So we haven't done a lot of the fun things that we want to do. As we go through this period tonight and working on our vision boards, I would love for you to actually consider, in addition to some of these heavier goals, maybe some of you have academic goals or professional goals or other things, consider maybe how you can infuse more unifying activities for yourselves and your family, more fun activities. I want to be more intentional this year about traveling. We haven't done a lot of traveling in the last few years with the pandemic. You know, we have to be very careful with my mom here. You know, we try to minimize risk to her in terms of exposure of the virus and so forth. And so we want to maybe stretch out a little bit more and see some fun places. And we also want to be more intentional about family time and some activities that we can do on a regular basis that are fun and enjoyable for everyone in the family. So those are just a few things, but the general areas that we tend to see are financial. Okay, one of the top ones that are New Year's resolutions. I'm getting out of debt. I'm going to save more. I'm going to invest more. I'm going to, be more mindful, more organized, or whatever it is. Finance is usually a big one. The other one is health, wellness, fitness. We also have spiritual. We also have social and so forth. So you can kind of figure out whatever categories you want to set up and begin to build it out. Hopefully you all have done what my family helped me to do. They were helping me do some cutouts today. And so I'm looking forward to that. Professional. And if you have a business, you can have those goals. If you want entertainment, you want to travel, those kinds of things. You want to take up some classes, maybe a cooking class or a sewing class or whatever kind of class. Maybe you want to pursue a new degree, educational or academic goals. Whatever that is, you can make up different sections on your board and put images there that will help you to better display what it is that you're working towards. You can use markers. You can use the label makers. We couldn't locate mine just yet, so I'll probably have to do more writing. And scissors, glue sticks, all of those kinds of fun things we have, access to. I have some letters as well. So hopefully you guys have all your supplies. And if you're doing the digital vision board, we would love to see what you all have been creating. And I think we're going to actually set up a Facebook group so that we can kind of share, we can encourage each other over the next year in ways as, whenever we're having a goal, any sort of big vision, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be challenges that we face that keep us, and that's kind of the way it is, that attempt to keep us from having success. But know that when we're working together as a community, encouraging each other, sharing ideas and strategies, we can be a resource for one another. And it makes it so much easier to be able to accomplish those goals successfully because we've been able to operate as a community and as a source of great support for one another. So having said that, I want to transition for just a moment. I have the great pleasure of introducing someone that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He was a student at the same college, Oakwood University, when I was a student there. He, as well as his two brothers, have been friends of mine for 30-some years. And he has been such an impressive figure in my life. I have found his twin brother, was pastors of my church for many years, and that was exciting. I think I may have taught either he or his brother when I used to teach graduate school, and he can probably let me know. I can't remember which, but I believe one of them took a class that I taught that I used to teach at Andrews University Theological Seminary as a graduate school professor of church and personal finance. And so, but I love the fact that he is so accomplished on so many different levels. He has done a tremendous job of planting churches, growing churches, building community, just being a great resource in the community. and also balancing that with being a wonderful family man. He's got a wife and two beautiful children that are adult and almost adult. I think his son is in the same school with my two children, and so he's just been an incredible resource in our community. Just as you know, someone who really can get things done and knows a lot, knows how to connect with people, and just build a big tent that others can come in and feel safe and secure, and like they're part of a community. So with that, let me tell you, he's actually the assistant to the vice president for pastoral ministries of church revitalization as of October of this year. So congratulations on that new appointment. He previously spent 13 years in ministry in the New York area, and he also, for many years, has been a pastor here in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And we just love the fact that he has grown that church and has really set it on course to do tremendous things in our community. But most recently, he has published a book called The 21-Day Reset, Resetting Your Life from the Book of John. And we would like to, without any further ado, bring to you Pastor Dr. Paul Graham.
Hey, thank you so much, Cynthia. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good, 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 good. Man, I'm excited about being here. It was so funny. I was listening to you and I said, man, accomplished. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Here we go.
He's an
There we go.
author. He is accomplished. This is
There we go.
evidence.
Man, again, thank you for the opportunity of being on and loving what you're doing. My daughter just finished doing a vision board with her friends some couple of weeks ago, at Oakwood and what have you. She's just into the vision board stuff. So I'm really excited about what you're doing. So excited about what you're doing. But thank you for the, as we would say, accolades. It's nice to get them while you're alive, and not when you can't hear it, but love to leave a mark some way, somehow, somewhere. Well, it wasn't me. I guess it was Patrick that you taught at Andrews University, and I just really believe that our path keep crossing. Again, my son is at Tacoma Academy with your with yours and with your children, and I'm just excited about what God is doing, not just in my church life, but outside of my church life with other churches and other individuals. So um, I'm just thankful to be here. Anything you want to know, anything you need to know, I'm here. I'm available. I'm all ears, but I'm all open to just answer anything that you would like to ask or anyone would like to ask at this time. You know.
So I'm just really excited about the new year because I feel like, and I use the word reset all the time as a coaching clients and as I'm teaching my students. I talk about hitting the reset button.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, it's almost it's a mental thing, right? It's not a literal button. Right? You know, we can't hit the easy button like Staples says, you know. But it is a mental thing where we kind of hit the switch where we say forgetting those things that are behind us. And we're pressing forward, and it's almost like a clean slate. Now, I mostly deal in the world of finance, and a lot of times we're making mistakes in our finances, but we make mistakes in all aspects of our lives. And there's a lot of shame and regret and remorse that goes along with that. Tell us how we can, in the new year, have a new mind, a fresh perspective, and ways that we can engage with our loved ones and our coworkers and everyone in our community with this new mind, hitting that reset.
You know, I honestly believe that the reset is needed in our lives at any given point, whether it's a marriage, whether it's finances, whether it's education. How about whether it's just being in relaxed mode, putting down your phones, um, maybe watching TV, but not overindulging in what you always watch. I just think that hitting the reset is so important for everyone's life because it's God given. Anything that's that's even in a perfect world has a reset. And some people may not realize that, but and I use a Sabbath for instance, just a Sabbath. And if you want to use a Sunday, you can use that also. But God has given one day out of 7 to reset, to recharge. And I'm not saying that you can do this that you can't do this on a Monday, you can't do this on a Tuesday, but even in the work world, it gives us the opportunity to pause for one day and to start over again. But many people on their off day, they're shopping because they have to. They're running because they have to. They're dealing with so many different things, bills because they have to, and their off day ends up being another work day. So resetting is really about contemplating what you want in your life, what you want to do next in your life, and doing everything possible to make sure that reset is a reality. A reset is a reality even in your health. So, couple of last year, I was online with my brothers, and my older brother Gary was talking about taking 21 days to start or restart a habit. I'm like, what? Is there a reality to this? He says, man, I'm telling you, this is real. And so my other brother, Patrick, was saying, hey, Paul, there's a reality to 21 days. And I'm finding out, wow, what do I want to do in 21 days? What am I willing to do in 21 days that will change the trajectory of my life? What am I willing to do? And I took some time and I realized that a lot of my, it's my dog. Hey, I'm so sorry. It's my dog's howling like this. Okay, okay. Um, what I realized is that I have not taken time to read the Word of God 21 days straight for me. I've been doing it for sermons, I've been doing it for people, but not for me. And so I've recognized that I wanted to do something different, and I began doing something different. And what I began to do is to take a 21-day challenge for my own life, and I actually took the time to write it out. Took the time to write it out.
Wow.
You know,
And it took you 21 days to write the book. Is that what you're saying?
no, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I wish if it took me 21 days to write a book, I write so much many more 21s, you know.
Oh my goodness.
But
Yes.
but no, it took me about 5 months to write this. And I'm gonna be open and honest and tell you why. There were times when I was inundated with stuff, family, work, deadlines, and I realized that I was writing. While I was writing to complete the book instead of writing to be complete. And I think there's a difference. And when I finished writing it, I recognized that it helped me to be complete in an area in my life. And when I wrote it, I said, wow, there is something exciting about finishing a task that will do something for me and not somebody else. And so when we reset, Cynthia, when we reset, we need to reset for us so that others can benefit from our reset. And many times husbands can't benefit from us. Wives can't benefit from us, or I should say spouse can't benefit. Your job can't benefit, or your careers can't benefit. Your plans, your investments, it cannot benefit because we are not taking the time out to be the best version of ourselves by resetting. And so I wanted to share that that this book is not just about resetting your spiritual walk, but it can be about resetting some idiosyncrasies that you have in your life. And I think that it's a profitable book, not money-wise, but planning and vision-wise. It surely can do a lot. It definitely can do a lot.
Absolutely. And I love how you have areas in the book where you're actually taking, you're asking us to take the time to think about some things and write out what we're thinking, what we're going to do. This is just an example right here. where
where
reset
reset
requirements,
requirements,
right?
right?
Yes.
Here's one
Here's
of
one
them.
of them.
What would
What
being
would being
filled with
filled with
so much
so much
abundance that
abundance
it
that it
overflows
overflows
look
look
like
like
in your
in
life
your life
today?
today?
That's a
That's a
great
great
question to
question
ask.
to ask.
Like,
Like,
what would
what
that
would
look
that
like?
look
What
like?
would
What
that
would that
feel like?
feel like?
What would
What
that
would that
feel like
feel
for
like
your
for your
family?
family?
And you know what's so beautiful about that is that I had to do it first before asking. And one of the reasons why I believe that um, we spend too much time not being, not living in our overflow. We spend a lot of time not living in our overflow. And so, what does it look like for you? Does it look like spending more time with your family? Does it look like spending more time with with yourself? I also believe that self care has a lot to do with resetting. And so, in the reset requirements, it's not just about jotting something down, it's about sticking to what you're going to jot down to help you in your in your in your reset. And so time and time again, I've realized that resetting it can't just be about one day. It can't just be about, oh, I'm going to do this for 3 days and then fall off. I think what's important about our reset requirements that it helps you to go back to see what you did on the first day, see what you did on the second day, the third day, and it catapults each one of us, the reader, to keep on moving forward, to keep on pushing forward, to persevere. Because when you find a person that has reset their lives or reset an issue in their lives, you will find that they're better. They're better for their families. They're better for their you know their jobs. They're better for their communities. They're better for their churches. They're just so much better. And so I strongly would share with others that you know to reset your life, to reset your life, it is more than important, right? It is mandatory. It's more than just important, but it's also mandatory. And so in this, I strongly believe that it is important for us to reset, reset in every and anything that we do. Um,
Timely, doctor.
Doctor.
This
This
is
is
so
so
timely.
timely.
I
I
had
had
so many
so many
people
people
over the
over the
last few
last few
days
days
talk
talk
about
about
the
the
importance
importance
of
of
this
this
exercise
exercise
as
as
we're
we're
going
going
into the
into
new
the new
year.
year.
We have an
We have an
echo.
echo.
Um,
Um,
give us
give us
just one
just one.
moment. We have an echo. Just give me a moment. Let's see
well,
if
I
we
just
can.
canceled mine. Is it better now? I just can't. One, two,
Oh,
test.
okay.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think so. I think
There we
so.
go. There
Okay,
we
there
go.
it is. Thank you so much. I'm glad you know. See all of those snacks with the grams, or what is it
Yeah,
called?
test time with the grams. Yes. I'm,
See,
I'm
you
so
got to
sorry.
be so good at this because you do the
Man,
snack time, right?
I'm so sorry. If the echo offended anyone, just let the words of reset keep echoing in your mind. You know, that's
There
what I.
you go. There you
That's what I
go.
was.
But just as we close out, and by the way, if you guys have any quick questions that you want to ask Dr. Graham, just drop them into the chat, okay? And we don't want to keep him too long because I know he's got a lot going on. But if you could quickly, drop them in, he may be able to answer one or two questions that you might have. But quite frankly, again, I had several people tell me this is just so timely for what's going on in their lives right now, that they're looking to change some things. They need a fresh start. That's another term that we hear thrown around.
Mhm.
Nobody's talking too much about resolution so much. I think most of us have abandoned that particular word and the concept that goes with it. But reset, I think, is really is the operative word for how we need to be thinking about what we do going forward, and not just at the beginning of the year, knowing that a reset can happen at any time. We can
Yeah.
just decide today, I'm hitting the reset button.
Absolutely.
And
And
it's
just
like a switch in the brain happens, right?
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And then, one of the things I wanted to share is that um, this book is called The 21-Day Reset, Resetting Your Life from the Book of John. The book of John has 21 chapters. So there's not 22 chapters in John, there's 21. So every day you're having the opportunity to um, to learn gems from the book of John. Now here it is. What's so beautiful about this, which I always share, is that don't just read this alone, right? Just don't read this alone. When you read the first day, it comes with John chapter 1. In the beginning was the
Okay.
word, and the word was with God. So when you read chapter 1 and then you read the first entry of this, you end up having the opportunity to read the first chapter and the first entry and then your homework. By the time you're finished this, you would have read the full book of John, and you will get your own insights from the book of John. So I think what's beautiful about this is that it gives a spiritual mindset, but it also allows you to work out the kinks from the word on your own. It sure does.
That is awesome. Now we have a question in, I don't think it's in the chat. I think because we're simulcasting
Okay.
in several places. So I think this is on our Legacy Builders University Facebook page. How did you motivate your team to do the vision board? So I'm not sure if they're directing it towards you or they're directing it towards me, but you can take it.
Well, one of the things that I had the opportunity to talk to my daughter about was that I didn't have to motivate her to do it. But when she finished, she shared it with me. And what's so beautiful about sharing it with me is that if you're talking about building legacies, right? If you're talking about building a
Mhm.
legacy, I need to know what my daughter, what her plans are, so that I can be a part of building her legacy. She's building from mine. If she's now building her own. So when she said that she was doing a vision board, I didn't have to motivate her. But please, if you want to motivate your team or even your young adult, right? But your team to do a vision board, um, talk to them about if you can't, if you don't, if you fail to plan, right? You'll plan to fail. You've got to let them know that, show them the parts of their lives that they plan for. Like they plan for shopping, they'll plan to hang out with friends, they'll plan to watch a movie, they plan for so many different things that as parents, you think that you're the one asking permission from them in what they're doing. Our kids plan out our own life. But if
Mhm.
but if we help them to realize just as important it is for you to hang out with your friends and plan different activities for your life, is as important as it is for you to plan the trajectory of your life. And so if you have a team that doesn't see like it's not a big deal to do that, I want you to know that use the planning effect, that what they plan for, they're the ones that set their times on their phones to plan for certain things. Let them know that short-term plans are important, but again, what's mandatory are long-term plans for building legacies.
I love it. And we talk about legacy building from not just a death standpoint, because a lot of people equate that with leaving a legacy, but how about living a legacy? Being a living legacy,
Mhm.
right? Having that as a part of our action plan. And we do see a comment popped in from Naomi. The book of John is being used for Pathfinders for PBE this year. It's a great book. Fantastic. Very,
Wow,
very good. Well,
beautiful.
I just want to thank you, Dr. Graham. You have been just an excellent source of inspiration for us tonight. We can carry this into the new year. This is something concrete that we
Yes.
can take. I just want to reemphasize the fact that we've got the 21-day reset. This is going to be found, if you could put that up on the screen, Marcus, we're going to be able to find that on Amazon.com, but also the 21dayreset.org, correct?
Yes. Yes.
He's going to put that in the chat so
Great.
that anybody who wants to be able to locate the book, they can do so easily. We strongly recommend it. This is going to be required reading in our household. And so we're going to read it as a family. Every member of the family is going to have their own book.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, the two people who put something in the chat, the two questions, we're leading into our giveaway. I'm
Oh,
going to have sent directly to your home this beautiful gem, the 21-day reset. So, Pat, if you could capture that information for us, and if you were those first two individuals, you want to definitely send an email to support@legacystrategicpartners.com, support@legacystrategicpartners.com. And if you guys could put that in the chat for me, that would be great. I appreciate my team. Thank you guys so much for your help. And again, Dr. Graham, my friend,
thank you
it
for the
was an honor and a pleasure to have you spend your time with us. And we look forward to doing other things with you and certainly sharing this incredible book that you have written. God
Okay.
bless you, sir.
God bless you. God bless you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So listen, we've got 2 prize giveaways already. So if you guys can help me to identify, I know Naomi Fields was one. If you can help me to identify the other person that's going to get the 21-day reset, that would be great. Okay. All right. So we'll figure it out and we'll announce it at the end before we take off. Okay. At the end of our session tonight. So how are you guys coming along with building your boards? How are you doing with building your boards? Anyone here, if you put in the chat, you would like to, show your screen, make a mention of it, and Marcus, our administrator, will be able to spotlight you from time to time. Just make a mention in the chat if you'd like to show your screen. I normally am working on my board while we're doing this. I'm finding it a little bit of a technical challenge because I've got, multiple camera angles and all kinds of equipment around me. And I'm also, we have a guest speaker, which we've never done before, which I love it. We're going to have to do this again. So let's go on now. I just want to, again, get the progress check. If you guys could put in the chat how you're coming along with building your boards. And then we can go to our poll. We have a poll, and I think I missed doing one of the polls earlier. So let me see. I need my poll question. Give me just a moment. I need to pull up my poll question number 1. Oh, we can't do the poll. Well, we can maybe do a non-official poll. How about that? Why don't we do a non-official poll and then you all can respond in the chat as you see fit. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Let me pull up the polling questions and we'll be ready to go. So question number 1, poll question number 1, get your fingers ready to type. What category does your highest priority goal for 2023 fall into? And so we would have number 1, health and fitness. Number 2, spiritual. Number 3, social. Number 4, financial. Number 5, academic. Number 6, family. Number 7, other. I would love to see your responses. All right. So again, what category does your highest priority goal for 2023 fall into? That would be number 1, health and fitness. Number 2, spiritual. Number 3, social. Number 4, financial. Number 5, academic. Number 6, family. Number 7, other. All right. So I'm going to need my team, Jasmine, Pat, Marcus, Kina, Jericho, whoever's on with us, if you guys could help us to get a consensus, what you think the number 1 response was, and then we can review that a little later on. But if you guys could answer in the chat, that would be great, so we can see what you're thinking. And if you're on our Facebook Live, you can respond there too. Okay, we're happy to take a look and see what it is that you have said. Okay, I'm just curious. I am curious. I'm going to say my highest priority goal for 2023 is spiritual number 1. Number 1. And number two, family. I need, better balance with that. So number one, spiritual. Number two, family, balance. I have a kid that's going away to college next year. There's a lot of things we want to do while he's still here before he heads off. And so those would be my, top two priorities. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing some responses. Very good. Very good. I like what I'm seeing. All right. Great, great responses, everybody. Thank you so much. All right. So let's get back to working on our vision board just a little bit more. How are you guys progressing? How are you progressing? I would love to see how you're doing. Has anyone identified themselves as wanting to show their progress as they're working? If so, if you could spotlight them for me, Marcus. All right. I see a lot of spiritual answers to the poll. Okay. Now I'm looking at the Facebook page too. So this is good. You guys, I love your participation here. This is fantastic. All right. So we're going to move on. Do we have anyone that wants to be spotlighted? Pat, Marcus, have you guys seen anyone that wants to be spotlighted? Marcus, if you could unmute. I'm not able to hear. Can you set it up so I can hear it, Marcus? I can't hear Janelle. Yeah, I can't hear her. Okay. Yeah, I'm still not able to hear. Oh, I tell you, technology can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Depends on the day, right? Be a friend or a foe. Okay. Okay, Janelle, I think I can hear you now. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, Janelle, I think I can hear you now. Go ahead. Okay. That that was impressive, Janelle. You put a lot of effort. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Thumbs up, Janelle. Can you hear me? Thumbs up. Can you hear me? Okay. That was impressive. I mean, you got all kinds of things covered there. Beautiful. So you guys can clearly see what can be done. Now, you may not get it all done in this sitting, but if you take the time after you are moving into, the rest of the week, we just got a couple more days before it's January 1. Maybe even on January 1, you can finish your project. And if we can get that Facebook group established, we will send you guys the link to the invite so that you can actually get in. We can display some of the boards just like Janelle has if you are so inclined. Some of you may not want to, but for those of you who want to, it is definitely inspirational. I think I need to add a few more things to my list that Janelle is doing and just really step it up a notch. But that was fantastic. Thank you so much. It is such a blessing to have people in your life who are great planners, who are visionaries, who are clearly intentional. And again, that's our work for 2023. So what I would like to do is another poll right quick, guys. I know you're still working on your boards. Let's do another quick poll if you don't mind. Okay. So the next poll question, give me just a moment to pull it back up, is, in the past, what was the greatest barrier to achieving your most important goals? What was your greatest barrier to achieving your most important goals? And I'll be watching the chat to see what kind of responses we have here. All right. I see your fingers are ready. In the past, what was the greatest barrier to achieving your most important goals? All right, so here we go. Number one, being unfocused. How many of us suffer with that? I know sometimes I get really distracted and it's hard to be focused when we're distracted, but to really be conscientious about that. Number two, undisciplined, uncommitted to achieving the goal. Has that been your case? That's number two, undisciplined, uncommitted to achieving the goal. Number three, family challenges. Sometimes things happen. Do we allow those things to completely derail our plans, or do we have a game plan for, getting back on the road after we fall off in the ditch? Number four, financial challenges. Those come. It's life, right? And those will happen at some point or another. Number five, health challenges. And then number six is other. Okay. So in the past, what was the greatest barrier to you achieving your most important goals? Number one, being unfocused. Number two, undisciplined, uncommitted to achieving the goals. Number three, family challenges. Number four, financial setbacks or challenges. Number five, health challenges. And number six, other. All right, so I'm watching the chat and I'm interested to see what the responses will be. All right, select your answer and we're going to choose a couple of participants there for our final giveaways a little later. As we are prepared to close out, we've got a couple more giveaways that are worth quite a bit more money. And I think you guys may be very, very happy with what we have to share with you. All right. So look forward to seeing those. If our team members could kind of tally and see which answers are the most prevalent, just, as a matter of trivia, it'd be interesting to see what would be the most common responses to the questions that we have. Okay. So if you were to think now about 2022, what would you say was your greatest achievement in 2022? I'm just curious if you guys wouldn't mind putting it in the comments on Facebook or putting it in the chat here and Zoom. I'd love to know what was your greatest achievement in 2022? And if you could spotlight a few of those responses here for me, Marcus, that would be fantastic. I'd love to identify a few of those responses. Okay, so that was just kind of a trivia kind of a question. It's no right or wrong answer. Everyone's answer is going to be perfect. All right. Number 2, what is your highest priority goal to achieve in 2023? So of all the things that you're putting on the board, what would you say is your greatest priority? Okay. Now I'm looking at the responses. So I'm still getting responses I see on Facebook and elsewhere. A lot of the answers were spiritual. Okay, very good. So Marcus, if you could spotlight some of those responses for me, run that on the ticker, that would be fantastic, because I'm sure everyone would like to see. So I see family challenges. Okay, Janelle, very good. And you went through a lot last year. You went through an awful lot last year. So I commend you for just staying the course and really being last 2 years. Yeah, last 2 years. It's been a rough time. So God bless you. So I see Michelle said reducing more debt. Reducing more debt. Is that your highest priority, or is that your greatest achievement? And I see Judy responding, writing a second book. Very good. And Michelle got a job promotion. Great. Sabrina says decreasing my debt. All right, fantastic. So I love that you guys are thinking about it, because it's always good to be a little bit of a reflective person, in terms of you're just kind of looking at what has happened in the past. It's just great to just pause and reflect and say, okay, what did I do right? What did I not get right? And then how am I going to do things differently as I go into the new year? I think that is the great position, and hit that reset button. But, be really clear about what's important. So we may have a lot of things that we want to do, but it's great for us to just really spotlight that top priority, or those top 2 priorities, and really put a lot of energy and effort into working out our schedules, because this is the area in which some of the experts say vision boards, they're not very helpful. Well, we know that that's not true. What is helpful is to not only have a vision board, but to have an action board, right? That action piece is I am taking significant steps to prioritize after I've made the list of things that are important. I'm prioritizing number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then my schedule and my finances, my everything, my energy is aligned with those priorities. When there's a disconnect between the two, that's when we see that we run into trouble, right? So if there's a disconnect between, if I'm supposed to be getting out of debt, but I'm instead racking up bills, I'm, buying things that I shouldn't be buying, and I'm putting them on credit and those kinds of things, there's a disconnect between what I say is important and then what I'm actually doing. So the second piece of this vision board is the actualization, the activity, the effort, the intentionality, the planning that goes into breaking the habits, if they're bad habits, and establishing new and better habits, better mindsets, and there are lots of materials out there that are available for us to be able to utilize, like the 21-day reset, that can help us to kind of have the right perspective, and we can kind of reset ourselves when we fall off, because there are going to be times when we're going to not necessarily be motivated. There are times when we're going to feel like, okay, I can't do this. We're going to feel like this is, a failure. And those distractions, like Janelle was saying, in your family, she lost loved ones and had other challenges. So this is what I would encourage you guys to do, is to really know that those things are going to happen. The setbacks are going to be there, the challenges, the roadblocks, the detours, but just decide each time I'm hitting the reset button and I'm going back in there. I'm hitting the reset button. I may need to refresh for a minute, catch my breath. I may need to pray a little bit. I may need to, confide in a friend, or, talk it through with a counselor, or whatever it is you need to do that is your coping mechanism. But know that you can't stop and say, okay, I failed. That's not an option. Quitting is not an option when you've got high priorities and the family members that are sometimes looking for us to be able to accomplish these things. So with the slides, I'd like for us to put up the slide for the third polling slide. And you guys may be continuing to work as you're having this conversation with us. And I see some great things. I see Janice is talking about, Judy is talking about writing some poems. Nicola, I see that you've responded, your greatest achievement in 2022. It's moving so fast. There's so many. It's going so fast, I can't see it. I missed it. Let's see. Okay, greatest achievement in 2022 is leaving schoolwork at work, not taking it home. That's a really good one. That's a great one for teachers and for others, professionals. Like sometimes we carry too much of that work home, and then the work overtakes our family life, and then we don't have that balance. So that's a great one, Nicola. All right, very, very good. Okay, so let's go to our third polling question. And then hopefully we're getting close to having a tally. If you guys could text me the responses on my phone, my team, I'll be looking for the polling responses as best you can through a manual count. So poll question number 3, everybody. Poll question number 3, okay? In your life, who will be most excited and blessed by you achieving your most important goals in 2023? That's a thought question. Some of you, it may not be so difficult. For others, it may be. But who in your life, who will be the most excited and blessed by you achieving your most important goals in 2023? So number 1 is you, obviously, right? But no, there may be other people in your life who may be more excited because they've seen you win. Maybe they've seen you beat up. Maybe they've seen you frustrated. Maybe they've seen you disappointed or discouraged or depressed. And now they see you glowing. They see you as a bright light. They see you achieving. They see you winning. They see your confidence up. Who would be impacted in a positive, powerful way? So number 1 is you. Number 2, your spouse. Number 3, your child or children. Number 4, your parents. Number 5, your boss or work associates. Number 6, your customers, clients, or parishioners, for those of you who run organizations or you're self-employed or what have you. And then number 7, other. All right. So again, here's the question. In your life, who would be most excited and blessed by you achieving your most important goals in 2023? Number 1, you. Number 2, spouse. Number 3, your child or children. Number 4, your parents. Number 5, your boss or work associates. And number 6, your customers, clients, or parishioners. And that would be for those of you who are leaders or business leaders. And all right, I look forward to seeing your responses in the chat or in the comment section on our Facebook page. All right. Okay, so far, spouse is in the lead. Okay, very good. So far, spouse is in the lead. All right. I think my team is trying to tally these up. All right. So if you can just give me the final results, guys, and just text them to me, that would be fantastic. So let's go to our slides. I want to, as you all are working, how are you guys doing? Before we go to the slides, how are you guys doing? I want to kind of check in and see your progress. We won't have the time to speak with anybody, but if anyone just wants to kind of show your vision board and the progress that you're making so far, if you could just put a comment in the chat so Marcus can find you and then we can spotlight you, because we'd love to see how you're progressing so far. All right. So we just have a few more minutes before we're scheduled to end. And I just want to make sure that we get some ideal looking, vision boards. Okay. So for poll number 1, looks like the final result is in, and spiritual was the number 1 answer. Well, great, because that would have been my choice too. So spiritual was the number 1 answer. Kudos to you guys. There's no wrong answers, but it looks like that was the number 1. Now, the poll number 2, let's see if I could grab that back. Unfocused. So you guys may remember the question was, in the past, what was the greatest barrier to you achieve? I'm sorry. Yeah. What was the greatest barrier to achieving your most important goals? That was unfocused. I can probably agree with that as well. I think there's a general consensus that unfocused is probably pretty high up there. All right. Very good responses. And then do we have a final for poll question number 3? Let's see here. I think they're still tallying. So while they're doing that, let's talk a little bit about some things that we're going to be doing as we're starting 2023. As I mentioned in the opening segment, my name is Cynthia Brain. I am the president and CEO of Legacy Strategic Partners. We're based in Maryland. And I'm also the founder and president of Legacy Builders University, home of the Financial Art Masterclass. We are in our 24th year of having financial masterclasses available to the public. Of course, I taught graduate school for many years before I started the public forum. But how it came to be is I was teaching in a university setting, as we talked about with Dr. Graham earlier. And I thought, wow, it's not very often that even in a structured academic environment that you have the totality of a masterclass as it relates to finances. And so I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could offer this to the public? And I had some people in my circle that said, it would be fantastic if you would consider doing something like that. So just to give you a little historical perspective, we started in January of 1999, right here in Washington, D.C., in one of the major churches here in the DMV. We held our first master class in their basement. And that class, believe it or not, hold on to your seatbelt. That class went for 24 months. That is the longest period I've ever taught the master class. It's been as short as 6 months. It's been 24 months. 24 months is a long time, but guess what? There are a whole lot of major breakthroughs for those who participated in that 2-year class. There's a lot that we can get done with our finances in 2 years. If we're focused, there goes that word again. If we're intentional, there goes that word again. If we have the reset mindset, like, I messed up, I'm going back, I want to be focused. And so this is a great community. Now we have educated over 100,000 students all over the United States, throughout North America, and even parts of the Caribbean. So this is an exciting thing for me because I'm looking at next year, the following year, we're going to be in our 25th year of master classes. And the amount of impact is really untold. There's no way we can measure the complete impact. And so I'm very excited about us having the opportunity to launch on January the 8th. If you could bring up the event slide for me, Marcus. This is just a tremendous opportunity for us to really go and spend some time focusing on what's important and us doing some incredible things with our family's finances. And so if you happen to have that as a particular goal, like your finances are way up there, this may be a class that you may want to consider taking. We will start on January the 8th with the class, and actually tonight at 11:59, there has been an early bird special in place. Since we opened up registration tonight at 11:59, the early bird specials close out. So you'll want to definitely check out our websites so that you'll be able to take a look at what it is that we do and how we do it, and see if this is something that could really be a blessing in your life. This masterclass is actually a 52-week class. So we're actually going to have more than 52 hours of live classroom instruction. We're going to play a little video shortly of the kinds of things that we cover. Yeah, take it away, Marcus. Go ahead and play it. It's okay.
There's a lot of information here, so let's jump in. In month 1, you'll learn smart cash flow management, budgeting, and how to plan for future and unexpected expenses, as well as managing money in times of crisis. In month 2, learn multiple strategies to reduce or eliminate debt the fastest, including student loans, credit cards, car loans, mortgages, and business-related debt, appropriate uses of credit, and managing it. In month 3, strategies to build or rebuild strong credit scores, as well as how to rebuild finances after a financial setback, how to recession-proof your household finances. In month 4, we'll go over risk management strategies. How much insurance is enough, or too much, or just right? Are warranties and extended warranties a good idea? And learn how to evaluate your current needs, anticipate future needs, and select the appropriate life, health, disability income, long-term care, auto, renters, homeowners, umbrella, and professional liability or business insurances. Moving to month 5, you'll learn smart income tax strategies for 2022 and beyond, maximizing the current tax laws, systems for organizing financial and legal documents, how and where to store and when to update, how and when to purge. Should you know what assets you have and where your documents are stored? Moving to month 6, you'll develop smart investment strategies, understanding the various financial markets and how to maximize buying and selling opportunities, investment vehicles, and how to handle market volatility, plus understanding cryptocurrencies, the pros and cons. In month 7, you'll learn how and when to invest in real estate, maximizing real estate opportunities. Moving on to month 8, you'll learn private education and college education funding options, how to maximize free funding, plus how to teach financial literacy and reinforce good financial habits to your children and grandchildren. In month 9, we'll move to retirement planning strategies for employees and self-employed individuals, types of retirement plans, how to properly fund and grow them, anticipate retirement income needs, and distribution planning once in retirement to make money stretch throughout one's lifetime. Understanding Social Security and Medicare benefits. In month 10, you'll learn strategies and developing skills to work together with family household members and communicating more effectively about financial needs, challenges, and goals. Plus, you'll receive couples coaching by experienced and credentialed couples counseling, helping couples to learn better skills by enabling the family to achieve financial goals more peacefully, joyfully, quickly, and easily. Month 11, you'll learn entrepreneurship, how to successfully launch a new business or scale the business you presently own to create life-changing income and build wealth. Creating a business that you run, but that doesn't run you. Work smarter, not harder, and also tax benefits and other financial benefits of business ownership. And finally, in month 12, wealth building, which includes wills, trusts, living wills, medical directives, and legacy planning strategies. How to create the life and lifestyle of your dreams and leave behind a meaningful legacy that can positively impact your community and family for generations. Plus, succession planning strategies and planning for aging. As you can see, there's a plethora of information you'll be learning in the next 12 months. But don't worry, don't be overwhelmed. You'll be coached every step of the way by the masterclass teacher herself, Cynthia Brame.
All right, so that is our 12-month timeline for the Financial Arc Masterclass. Again, this will be the 24th year that we have offered it. It is a 12-month course. It's a deep dive for those who are serious about their finances, and maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you just need encouragement, you fall off the wagon, or maybe you plateaued and you know it's time for me to get to that next level or the next level, and you just want that camaraderie, that community, that support, and the education. Now, I'm not the only instructor. I am the primary instructor, but we have lawyers and CPAs and tax experts, and we have real estate experts. I mean, we cover the gamut, even couples counselors and others. And we're adding something this year. I'm hoping we can make this happen a little later in the year, but in our real estate month, we want to take a deep dive, not only from our own personal standpoint, but from a real estate investing. And we're looking at collaborating with a friend who has a tremendous real estate investing boot camp. So we're wanting her to really infuse that into our curriculum this year, because I know a lot of people are interested in real estate investments. And of course, there's only but so much land out there, right? So if you can get a piece of it, if you can get a few pieces of it, it's probably not a bad idea if you do it the right way. And of course, with expert advice and guidance. Some of these are professors at universities and law schools. Others have been in practice for many, many years, but we're talking about really high quality individuals. And you're welcome to take a look at our websites in order to better see testimonials. We only have a fraction of the testimonials, and the ones that are up are just from this year's graduates. We don't have going back for a whole lot of years. We've got to keep uploading them because we've got a lot of them. But take a look. You can hear what others have experienced, and maybe that will be a source of encouragement that you can do it too. You can do it too. There's nothing that is too hard for you to be able to do it when you have the right resources, information, support, and so forth. We can do all things through Christ. It's my personal motto, and I encourage everyone to consider that you can absolutely achieve what you may have thought was achievable. So some other things that are happening, and Marcus can pull those up on the slides as well. We launch our podcast on January 2nd. So this is something that I have a coach of my own, guys. I'm not just the coach, but I am being coached. And so the Smart Money Mondays podcast will kick off on January the 2nd. I'm so excited about this because TFAM has been my baby for 24 years. We call it the Financial Arc Masterclass TFAM. But the podcast has been on my heart heavy for years. I just had, like Janelle said, life getting in the way as a full-time caregiver, as a mom, raising kids, and a spouse, and all kinds of other responsibilities, work and community and church and things. So it's been a lot of balls in the air, and I just have had this thing that just didn't get done. But this is going on my vision board, guys. If you could bring the screen back to me. This is going on my vision board this year. I'm launching the podcast. I'm finally getting it done. And I have the help of some great people who are assisting me with getting that. So save the date, January 2. We're going to make sure you have access. We're working right now making the podcast available on our legacystrategicpartners.com website, as well as we have another site which I will get to you guys in an email that we will have it on, but we're looking at having it on Spotify, as well as a number of other platforms. So you guys are able to, find it wherever you like to watch podcasts. You'll probably be able to find ours. But what is special about ours? I know you're asking, right? Why, Cynthia? There's a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of them about money, but there's not one that focuses on women of a certain age. So those of us women who are of a certain age, we know who we are. So if you aren't one, you probably, if you don't know what a certain age is, you're probably not one. I'll put it that way, right? But women of a certain age have some really particular challenges. There's a lot of us, and we go through changes of life. We go through changes with our status, marriage, divorce, death of spouses, job change, financial challenges, child rearing challenges. I mean, you name it, caregiving. We've got a long list of things that we're doing battle with. And our podcast will be addressing those issues and how we can, instead of being victims, we can be. And so being victorious, it is doable. We're going to really unleash some strategies. We're going to bring some incredible guests on who we're going to have the opportunity to talk with, who can help to enlighten us on all of these different areas. And I haven't begun to scratch the surface. This is such an exciting thing for me, because I cannot wait to bring you guys this information. I think it's going to be life-changing, and it's going to give tools, resources, and strategies to women who really are at this point in life where there's so many balls in the air, and there's so much exhaustion and so much frustration, and in some cases anxiety and so forth. So we're just trying to do everything we can to help women of a certain age. So pass the word on, guys. Smart Money Maven, which has been my nickname for many, many years. We're bringing you Smart Money Mondays. We're going to have this on Mondays, and we hope that you'll be able to tune in and be enlightened and share with some women in your life who you love, whether it's your mom, your sister, your daughter, a girlfriend. Invite them to participate in the Smart Money Mondays podcast. Now, so that's January 2. If you bring up on the screen for me, Marcus, next, our January 19 event. Okay, so that is the TFAM event we're launching on the 8th. If you go to the next slide down, there you go. We will have the second bite at the apple, guys. We had this particular webinar earlier this month. I think it was December 5th or 6th. We were given the distinct honor as top tier financial advisors to be in a position to co-host one of America's top economists in the name of Tom Hegna. Now, if you guys don't know who he is, you probably can Google him, but you know that he is one of the New York Times bestselling authors on financial topics. He's got a bunch of books, including Don't Worry, Retire Happy. And he was brought on by PBS television to actually do specials on Don't Worry, Retire Happy. Well, what he has done in this particular body of work was pull together the research from a number of top officials. These are scholars at universities across the United States who have expertise in determining what constitutes a happy retirement. A lot of times the happiness is connected to retirement stability and some other factors. I'm not going to really preempt this event. So if you weren't on the last one, or you missed part of it, then you definitely want to sign up, register. This is completely free. And I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to be one of the special highlighted financial advisors in the group of top tier financial advisors across the country to be allowed to co-host this event with Mr. Hegna. And so we're extremely grateful with the partnership with him because he has just tremendous resources. So a couple of the other giveaways are the Medicare and Social Security guide that he has created. So I would love to be able to highlight a couple of people. If you guys could do an assessment of the two individuals who contributed to the chat the most. I'm gonna ask my team, Jasmine, Keena, Marcus, Pat, whoever's on, Jericho, if you guys could huddle and pull together the number 1 and 2 who contributed to the chat. I have the Medicare and Social Security guide. This is like a roadmap to making sure that you have the income and the benefits in place that you will want and need to have a comfortable and secure and most of all happy retirement. All right, so we're going to give away 2 of those, and we're going to need you to, if we identify you, email us at support@legacystrategicpartners.com, and Pat will be able to gather your information, and then we can get those out in the mail to you. So please go ahead and tally those up, guys, for me. And then before we close out, we're almost done. So don't worry, retire happy. You want to go ahead and get registered. We already have the link. If you guys could put the link in the chat for me. It was already on the screen as well. If you wanted to take a picture of it, maybe put that back up on the screen, Marcus, and everyone can take a picture of it. Do not miss this. Whatever you do, there's not 20 pathways to a happy retirement. There's not 10 pathways to a happy retirement. The science is not refuted at all. It is all across the board, a consensus amongst the scholars who study this as their life's work. And retiring happy has one pathway, one singular pathway. And he's going to reveal that to you when you go to this webinar. Clear your schedule. It is 6 o'clock in the evening Eastern time on the 19th of January. All right. So now let's quickly go ahead to the 28th of February. We're doing another co-hosting event with Tom Hegna. This one is for anyone of any age. It's called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Paychecks or playchecks? I mean, he goes deep into, again, the science. This isn't some little, I thought this up. No, this is based in research. What is the strategic plan to becoming a millionaire? And how do you get there? How do you keep it? A lot of the young folk want to do this. Even some of the folk who aren't so young want to be able to do this for varying reasons, not for greed necessarily, but many of us want to be philanthropic. We want to be able to give. We want to be able to give without even, worrying about it. Write a check. I got plenty. I can write with some commas and zeros in there. I can take care of my family. I can maybe set up a fund to educate all the kids in my family so no one has to take a student loan. Or you can help some cause that you want to give to, or you just want to get out of debt. You want to be able to make an impact in some other way. Everyone's got a different reason. It doesn't have to do anything with greed or consumption or anything like that. Some of the wealthiest people are some of the most generous people, because it seems like some of those folk are doing some good things with what they have, and the good Lord keeps blessing them because they're honest and they are operating from a place of generosity and integrity. So Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That's the 28th of February. And that's also going to be 6 o'clock Eastern time. Save the date, save the date, save the date. Go ahead and make sure you're on our mailing list. If you're not sure, email support@legacystrategicpartners.com. If you're on the Legacy Builders Facebook page and you're not registered here, you want to email support@legacystrategicpartners.com so you can be on our mailing list, and then you can get the link to register for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Again, it's the science of becoming a millionaire, how to get it, how to keep it, how to grow it. All right, what to do with it. Okay, there's a whole lot to it, but we're unveiling all of that for you, and we're excited that you may want to join us in learning more. So that's what's coming up over the next month and a half to 2 months, along with our weekly, of course, Financial Arc Masterclass sessions on Sundays. It takes place Sundays, 7 o'clock. We actually invested in a platform this year that we're very excited about. This platform allows you to be able to go in if you, let's say you have a family event, family reunion, you can't make it one week, you can go in and get the archived recording, and you can play that, and you have, you know, the whole year to be able to play that. We can also have other resources, books and other resources, videos there that you can retrieve. They'll be archived. And we have a community inside of this particular platform where we can engage with one another. And guess what? We have support partnerships. So these, what we call success partnerships, I'm sorry. A lot of people call them accountability partners, but that has such a negative connotation, right? We call them success partners. Success partners are in the trenches with you. They're going to be encouraging. There may be the week you can't get on, they might be on. They share their notes, they share their insights. You kind of talk through things. You're able to select someone. I encourage you guys to bring your family and friends with you to the class so that you can be on the same page. If you're married, certainly you want to bring your spouse. If you're engaged or you have somebody that's looking to get married, this is a great time to get in there. If you've been newly widowed or divorced, you're starting over financially. You've got a lot of debt or whatever, you know, or you're just wanting to just step it up. You know, there's a lot of things that you don't know that were playing on that video we just showed you. And this is the time to get serious and get intentional about getting your financial house in order. So I want to check in and just see how you guys are doing. Is there somebody that we can do a spotlight? Yes, we want to see Nicola's 8-year-old's vision board. I love this because my daughter through the years has done hers with me, and I just loved seeing it. So I would love to, if you guys could find Nicola Gurgis and then spotlight her. Turn your camera on, Nicola, so that we can see your daughter's vision board. We want to see that. Okay. We don't have time to do an interview with you, but if we could take a look at your daughter's work, that would be fantastic. All right. Were you able to find Nicola? While we're finding Nicola, I think we have for poll number 3, spouses was the #1 answer. So the person who would be most excited, would be most positively impacted. If you were to achieve your goals, like their world would be rocking. Yes, spouses. I probably would agree with that one too. My kids, I don't know, it's a close second maybe, because I think my kids are, you know, pretty good cheerleaders for me too. They help me with all of this setup and everything. So it's a family affair. So kudos to you guys for participating. And let's take a look now. Oh, turn around, sweetheart. We want to see your poster. Can you bring it closer to the camera? Hi. Hello. Let's see what you've got. Okay, take one little bitty step back. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so can you guys see what she's got? What is your baby's name? Is it Lila? I think it's Lila. All right, beautiful. You did a fantastic job. You got the bases covered. And what a neat job you did, Lila. Oh, you ran out of space, so you did some more on the back. I love it. That's so creative. I know your mom and dad are super proud of you, and your grandmother, I think, is on too. And so let's give Lila a hand. Great job, sweetheart. Great job. You are a visionary. We're going to have to come up with a special gift just for Lila. So I'm looking for input, guys, if you have some ideas on what we can send to Lila there in South Florida. We would love to send her a special gift. Great job, mom and dad and grandmother. Fantastic. You have a winner on your hands. I can't wait to hear how well she does at accomplishing some of those things that she is working on. So we're closing out, guys. We are closing out. So I want to just spend a moment thanking each and every one of you for participating with us tonight. I hope that this has been a constructive time frame for you in your life, giving you a moment to hit the reset button, focus in on the plans that you have, the dreams that maybe have been unfulfilled, and then put together that action plan, everybody. Prioritize. And then what am I going to do and how am I going to do it? Weave it into your schedule. Just a little tip. On Sunday nights, it's the great time to sit down, plan the week out, put into your schedule, your daily schedule, the very things that you put on your vision board. So if you're wanting to spend more time in prayer, right? Carve it into your schedule. It's not just going to appear. That time isn't just going to appear. Time is going to slip away. If it is taking a walk and exercising, right? I'm wanting to do more of that, right? Take the time, carve it out, be intentional. I'm going to do it from 6 to 7 every morning, or 7 to 8, or whatever it is. Bake it into your schedule, and then have someone who, like a success partner, who you're working with. And if you want to be paired up with a success partner, then use that same email, okay? support@legacystrategicpartners.com. Ask us, and we will find you a success partner. You guys can work together so that you can inspire, encourage each other as you're setting out to attain all of these really important goals in your life. And then envision how the people you love and care about the most will be impacted by your wins. Isn't that exciting? Just thinking about what the possibilities will be. So I must thank all of you for taking the time to join us tonight. I'm going to give the final giveaways in just a moment. I just appreciate Pastor Graham, Dr. Graham, for coming and sharing with us this evening. I appreciate all of you for taking the time out of your schedules to be with us. I thank my team, Pat Waugh, who's my executive assistant, right arm, left foot, eyes, everything. She is just the total package, and I'm so grateful for her, as well as our creative team, our administrative team, as well as our technical team. Thank you to Marcus Johnson, who has been running the Zoom, even through some technical issues. He's been keeping the wheels on the road, and we're very grateful for him. I'm also grateful for Jasmine, Keena, Jericho, Brittany, Tillman, everyone who had a role to play in us being able to put this event and all of our events together, quite frankly. They are a phenomenal team. And can you help me just give them a hand for the work that they do day in, day out? They work tirelessly so that we can serve the thousands of people that we serve, not only our clients, but our students, which are in the thousands. So we're just very grateful for the opportunity to be able to share this vision board with you. This is different, a little different than we've done in the past, but I like, the fact that we were able to bring in someone who could really add a lot of value to our event tonight. I also want to thank those who were on Zoom and those who were on the Facebook Live. We salute you, and we are very grateful for you. Know that as we go through this year, we will have setbacks, we'll have challenges, but I believe in my heart that this is your year for breakthroughs that you've never experienced before. And I really hope and pray that you will exceed your wildest imagination, that you will do things you never thought you could do. I personally will be praying for you and for your family. I'll be praying for those who have committed themselves to the process of creating the vision board. And as the Bible says, without a vision, people perish, right? That is important for us to have a vision. And Habakkuk 2, which is a part of the vision board poster that we have been using to promote this event. We've got to write the vision. We've got to make it plain. We've got to be very intentional about this particular activity. And know that we will celebrate the win with you. Next year, this time, we're going to be celebrating again. Of course, we're going to let you know what we're doing and when we're doing it if you're on our mailing list, so that you can participate again. We may extend it an extra half an hour. We normally do it 2 hours, but it gets a little late on the East Coast. So we're trying to balance out, because we've got people in 4 different time zones typically that are on with us. But we would love to see you throughout the year and know how you've been coming along with achieving your goals. And failure will happen. Setbacks will happen. I'm just repeating that. Don't be discouraged by that. As a matter of fact, we want to encourage you through those low points so that you will push through until you achieve the success that you want. And so I have, let me see if my team has given me. All right, so we've got a couple of people who are in that top tier of participants tonight who have been very engaged in the chat. So the number 1 was Janelle, and number 2 is Naomi. Here is something I've never done before. Never. But these 2 women are outstanding and well-deserving, and I couldn't be happier to be able to offer you. If you want to take the Financial Arc Masterclass 2023, you will get a 50% discount on the course. Do you know the value of that? The course is a $10,000 value course. Now, of course, we have deeply, 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 deeply discounted it. You got to go to our website to see all of the financial requirements. But trust and believe, the 50% off of the early bird price is invaluable. Okay? So know that this is an incredible thing. And can we give a hand to Naomi Fields and to Janelle Davis Harris? I was 2 amazing women. We're very, very grateful that you all were with us, and we're very happy that these particular ladies are the winners of this wonderful, wonderful value prize. So I hope you all take advantage of it, and that we can see you on January the 8th in our Financial Arc Masterclass. So with that being said, we want to take a moment. Remember, we asked you all to join us in bringing a beverage of choice that you could actually toast the new year and toast one another as we celebrate. Okay, so I actually have a baby Martinelli's. This is not real drink, but this is sparkling cider. I don't have a glass. Can you believe that? But it is one of the little minis. And so I would like to toast you in celebration of what we anticipate will be an epic year. I want to cheer you and the aspirations and goals that you have for the year. Your family members, your friends, everyone who is on tonight, I celebrate you, and I just want to lift my bottle instead of my glass in that celebration. Here, here to 2023. May it be an epic year for each and every one of you. May you have no regrets about the time that you're spending focusing on you and where you're headed. So this process is a little bit like the navigation system that you saw on the flyer. Today, start to prepare the GPS. Be ready on January 1 to hit start and be on your way to creating the future that you deserve. And so with that, I say good night, thank you, and God bless you as you enter 2023. May you have the very best of health, happiness, prosperity, and all of the blessings that God has in store for you. Good night, everyone. Take care. Take us out, Marcus.